AI is changing the world. It's helping people work more efficiently, some are even composing music with it, or using it as an everyday companion. But can AI go one step further? Could AI actually teach you how to play an instrument? Or in our case, rudimental drumming? Could ChatGPT become your personal drum teacher? If that's true, it could make drumming more accessible to anyone, anywhere. So in this video, we're going to put it to a test. Can ChatGPT actually help you learn to play rudimental drumming? Let's start with a fundamental idea. A teacher's primary role is to observe. A great teacher sees and hears how you play, noticing everything from grip tension to posture problems. These kind of diagnostic skills make a teacher like a smart mirror. They spot what you miss and provide specific feedback. By analyzing stick movement, sound quality and body mechanics, they understand what's really happening. That's kind of the core of teaching, right? Observation and diagnosis. So compare these versions. So what differences do you notice? A good teacher not only identifies issues, but guides you through fixing them. However, they can't measure exact timing discrepancies or watch you practice at home. There's always a gap between observation and feedback you get. So how does ChatGPT compare? It can provide general feedback on videos, suggest practice routines and break down exercises. But ChatGPT can't hear like a human teacher. It can't sense timing nuances, energy shifts or physical tension. There's no real-time interaction. You can't get feedback while you're playing. Future AI might bridge this gap. You can imagine tools that analyze your playing in real time, offering precise feedback on timing, dynamics and technique. Picture an app that measures your accuracy and monitors your grip tension. Secondly, a good teacher, to me, is also someone you look up to. Someone who inspires you because of their excellence, their network or achievements. We don't just learn from words, right? We learn by watching, but we learn by imitating. We learn by seeing someone do the thing at a high level and thinking, wow, I want to play like that. And here's the thing, a great teacher is living a standard of excellence. They show you what's possible. They inspire you by doing it themselves at a level that makes you want to rise the challenge. And of course, even the most inspiring human teacher has limits. Because let's be honest, not every teacher is a master performer. Some are great at explaining, but maybe they're not at the top of their own game anymore. And that's okay. Teaching is a different skill than performing. But if you're talking about inspiration, it helps to have a teacher who can show you the real deal. You might feel it already. What can ChatGPT do in this regard? Well, it can definitely give you information that can inspire you. But yeah, in the end, AI is not a performer. It can't feel music. ChatGPT can give you ideas, but it can't be the living example that lights a fire in you. And that's a big gap. Because as humans, we learn not just by thinking or exploring new ideas. As the psychologist Vygotsky put it, people learn by imitation, identification and participation with those they admire. And that's why inspiration matters. That is exactly why we love making videos like this, for example. But what about the future? Could AI ever become inspiring? Provide something we can look up to? Maybe. Imagine an AI system that can analyze recordings from top drummers, understand their phrasing, timing, dynamics, and all that jazz, and generate simulations of how they would sound. Or think about virtual drumming coaches that let you play along with near perfect digital drummers in real time. We're definitely not there yet, but tech is moving fast. Will AI ever feel like a real human mentor? Probably not. But it could become a more engaging interactive guide, like a smart mirror as well that shows you what greatness looks like and help you work towards it. So in short, a human teacher inspires you by being the example. They don't just tell you what's possible, they show you. Their playing, their presence, their passion, that's what lights the fire in you to push harder, to practice longer and to dream bigger. And ChatGPT, it can give you an idea, it can explain, but it isn't the standard you aspire to. The next crucial thing a great teacher does, they take big, scary, complicated stuff and make it super simple. Learning any skill can feel overwhelming, right? When you hear a blazing fast solo or you look at a page of 30-second note paradiddles and you think like, how am I ever gonna play that? Well, here's the secret. A good teacher doesn't just throw it all at you at once. They deconstruct. They break it down into small, understandable and doable steps. They scaffold your learning, so you can kind of climb the ladder without falling off. A great teacher knows when you're ready for a challenge and how much you can actually handle. They sense your level. Let's say you're learning the Flam accent. A teacher might see you struggling with the rudiment and they will say, okay, let's forget about the accents now. Just play the check, slow it down, and then the rep after. Now add the accents back in. Now let's add the flams. They adapt to you. They read your face, hear your playing, and adjust their explanation. That's the power of human connection. It is what known in literature as tailored scaffolding. But as humans, we aren't always perfect. Sometimes a teacher might go too fast or too slow. They might not always have the perfect breakdown ready for you in your unique way of learning. Sometimes you're at home practicing alone and you don't have your teacher in the room to guide you. And then what do? Then you can still have this overwhelming experience. So that's where we can turn to ChatGPT now. This is where I think ChatGPT actually really shines. You could ask the chatbot like, hey, how do I break down a paradiddle into manageable steps to learn it? And it will give you a clear, structured breakdown. Disclaimer here is that the bot needs to know the rudiment, of course. And my experience is that ChatGPT is familiar with most of the common rudiments, but if you're talking about hybrid rudiments or the Swiss Grundlagen, it gets a bit lost. Anyway, ChatGPT is able to split information into chunks, write out step-by-step instructions, give you practice strategies. However, and here's the catch, it can't sense where you are right now in your learning. So you have to be able to do so yourself. AI doesn't know if your hands are too tight or if you're struggling with the tempo or if you're just having an off day. It can't adjust a breakdown in real time based on your exact needs in that specific moment. And I think that's where a teacher in the room or even a friend who listens and watches you still has the edge. Because as Coopers and others put it in their paper, effective scaffolding is about providing tailored, time-sensitive support that gradually fades. And time-sensitive, that's, the tricky part for AI. For now, at least. Lastly, just one more thing that makes, to me, a huge difference in learning. And that's the emotional side of learning and teaching as well. Because to me, learning is not just, a technical process. It's emotional, it's social. It's about how you feel when you practice, when you perform, when you mess up, when you get it right. As I've already said, a great teacher senses your energy, your nerves, your frustration. They know when to push you and when to hold back. And just let you feel good about your play. Back when I was teaching in a local marching band scene, at some point I realized, before a big performance, the only thing performers need is confidence. Although during rehearsal they were rushing some parts and my instinct as a teacher was to correct them like, hey, watch your timing here, you're a bit ahead. But I held back. Because in that moment, right before a performance or contest, they didn't need another technical tip. They needed confidence. They needed to feel like they could do it. So I just said, hey, you've got this. Just play with the energy and enjoy. Have fun. As also research on music teaching suggests, Motivational feedback is most effective when it builds a learner's sense of autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Now, of course, teachers aren't perfect. We might miss when you're feeling down, or we might push too hard when you've not ready yet. And that's where ChatGPT could step in. You could ask AI for encouragement, or a practice plan, or a reminder that you're improving. But is that real? Does that feel real? ChatGPT can't feel your nerves. It can't see that you're bouncing your leg before a performance. It can't sense your energy or the vibe in the room. A human teacher picks up on those subtle cues, at least you expect the teacher to do so. The way you hold your sticks, the mood of the rehearsal, a teacher should know, and AI just doesn't have that level of emotional radar. Yet, though. Will that change? I think AI will get better at this. Imagine like AI analyzing your playing and your kind of tone of voice, your posture, and even facial expressions, and then adjusting the feedback accordingly. Maybe one day AI will sense when you're nervous and say, hey, let's take a breath. You're ready for this, just focus on having fun. But here's the real question. Will AI ever truly care about you as a person? Will it ever feel the joy of seeing you nail that solo whilst you were nervous, or the pride of watching you grow over time? That's still a human thing. So again, in short, a great teacher doesn't just correct you, they lift you up. They spark your joy, build your confidence, and remind you why you love drumming in the first place. For me, drumming has always been about connection, not just with the instrument, but especially with other people. AI won't replace that magic, but maybe it can help more people feel it, and that's something worth exploring. So to wrap it all up, can ChatGPT actually help you learn to play rudimental drumming? Using ChatGPT as your drum teacher has its perks. It can give you very general advice based on videos you send in. AI can share and produce inspiring examples, ideas, and resources. It can provide step-by-step explanations and suggest practice plans. And it can offer you motivational words and encouragement. It's fast, it's always available, and it can give you a ton of ideas and suggestions, especially when you're just getting started. However, it cannot replace the magic of learning from a real teacher who listens to your playing, challenges you, and helps you grow. There's no passion transfer. ChatGPT won't demonstrate you excellent artistry. There's no genuine empathy or emotional connection. In the end, the AI doesn't care about you. And do you want that to be your teacher? That said, it still does bring something powerful to the table. ChatGPT makes knowledge more accessible than ever, helps spread the craft of drumming to more people, and sparks new ideas that can push our art form forward. If we use it wisely, it can help us build a stronger community and ensure that rudimental drumming stays alive, inspiring, and evolving.